Right. Okay. I'm going to have to get a microphone and figure out how to use it on this thing here. Here we go. Better lighting, maybe? Okay. So this is, I know it's short notice, but this is the first live stream. And I wanted to just take a second here. And Tracy Bushnell, I've read some of your comments, and thank you. It's pretty cold here too, where I live in Canada. But I think it's plus 2 degrees Celsius. I'm Canadian. My brain works with Celsius. The only way I seem to understand Fahrenheit is when it comes to the temperature of a pool. But Tracy, I remember you, and I've read, I think maybe you might have made more than one comment on my channel. And it was just, I want everyone to know what I did not expect. Obviously, I have people saying, how did you get so many views and so many subs? You know, you're only 3 or 4 videos old. This is a big conversation. I'm going to do a separate video on it, but I do read all of the comments, and but I'm going to be doing a separate thing to kind of acknowledge as many people as I can. But Tracy, I believe you have commented a few times on my channel, and I do remember reading your comments. That might be hard to believe. Canada, the tundra. I did that in school. Thank you. It can get very cold here. Last winter was not too bad, but the winter before was pretty brutal. But it is what it is. And I just wanted to see here, Tracy, with you on here. And I know this was kind of short notice, but I wanted to post. I've got a lot of videos on the go being edited. We were totally taken aback by what's happened. And so we're just kind of, I'm just running with hitting the ground running here. This is my first live stream, and this is my first live stream attempt, and for this channel. And I wanted to kind of acknowledge everyone and say a big thank you. And I did read through the comments. It's just crazy. It's okay. So we have, so thank you, Tracy from the UK. In the middle of a forest. Greetings, Jerry and Jack. 39 degrees. I think he's talking Fahrenheit here. And Northwest Wisconsin. Glad to see you. Well, I'm glad to see you. And thank you so much for, I believe you commented as well on my channel, and I appreciate it. Kind of overwhelmed. I just wanted to tell you guys how many comments. I'm just going to get the updated stats now. How many comments we had on that video. Like, that was just great. 21,000 comments and 45,000 thumbs up. That's crazy. Here I was just out kind of testing the lighting with the sun, and holding a cell phone with a microphone plugged in a couple of weeks ago. What do you know, eh? I remember there's one part in the video, it's pretty funny. I kind of slip a bit because it got very muddy. And I almost slipped and fell. Would not have made a great part of the video. In the middle of the forest, thank you so much for joining us. And again, guys, I know this is short notice, but I wanted to do something. I wanted to do like a video thanking you guys. But I do have something coming up that I think you guys are really going to like. Lillian McSherry. Hi there from Scotland. Well, if it's not Scottish, it's crap. May I ask what part of Scotland are you from? Are you from Edinburgh, Aberdeen, Glasgow, Largs? What's going on there? Okay. Warrior _ Montreal. Hi from Montreal. Ah, okay. Not too far from you. Warrior. So this guy, he's probably either into MMA or a metal guy. And Montreal has some crazy metal concerts there. Robbie Rees, UK here. Where exactly in the UK are you from, Robbie? Tracy Bushnell. You're doing great. Just do you. Absolutely, Tracy. Spongosaurus. Hi from Italy. It's cold here too, but that's good. Love the winter. Get to stay indoors and away from my folk. Okay. Where in Italy exactly? KLGG. Hi, Bryan from Toronto. I know I've been to Toronto many times. I'm very familiar with Toronto. Crazy city. It's growing like crazy. Sometimes now I'm like, I got to drive through there on the 401 on my way by. Can I drive around it? It's so crazy with the traffic. Alfred with the alien face. Yes. This is a topic we are going to address a little bit. I have had some weird stuff happen up here since I moved to this area 3 years ago. I did have another seeing something in the late 90s I'll tell you guys about, but I'm going to kind of, approach it in a certain way. It's going to take time to craft the right video to explain everything. VPen, hi from Australia. So, so let's ask for Australia. Are you from Perth? Are you from the West? Are you from the East? Are you from Sydney, Gold Coast, that kind of thing? 179 CPV. Hi there from Southern California. Bakersfield, San Diego, the middle of the forest. Your first hearts. Okay. Lillian McSherry. I'm from a small village between Edinburgh and Glasgow. So it is on the bucket list to travel to Scotland, and so much history there, so much history, and beautiful, beautiful country. I don't think I'm going to eat haggis though, Lillian. That haggis is something that I just can't do it. Oh well, I'll probably try it anyway. Robbie Rees, Abergavenny, Southeast Wales. Okay, okay. Random Elvis. Hey there, Bryan from Hampshire, UK. Hampshire, what part of UK is that in? One of the things I like to do with people from England is to listen to the different accents. So what my brain does, I relate them to the members of Genesis. You know, okay, so what part of, so we got Phil Collins or Peter Gabriel or Tony Banks, that kind of thing. I'm like, okay, so that kind of is my guide to tell me what part of England they're from. But I love trying to discern the English accents to figure out where would that person be from. Spongosaurus, Venice, which is amazing. Of course, a historic city in Italy with the gondolas, and that's always interesting because the city was in water. I don't know much about Venice that way. I would like to look into that more. KLGG, actually Mississauga. I've been to Mississauga many times. I'm trying to remember if I worked out at the World Gym in Mississauga one time when I was passing through there. Tina Dons, aloha from Hawaii. Hawaii, excellent. Never been there. It is a dream to go there with family, but that's a long flight. But beautiful, beautiful spot. Tracy Bushnell, hope you got a big log fire. Actually, we do have a fire pit in the backyard for sure. 179 CPV, Los Angeles, LA. Excellent. Excellent. Never been. I would like to go to California, not to live with the price of everything, but I would like to go to California sometime. Higo Damask 114D, greetings from Indianapolis. Interesting. I have a tie to Indiana. My cousin is a philosophy professor at the university in Indiana, Indianapolis. I forget what it's called, but yeah. Lillian McSherry, she loves haggis. I've heard about that since I was a kid. I had a friend who was from Largs, Scotland when I was a kid, and his parents were Scottish, and I would listen to their accent. And that's another funny thing we got to talk about, guys, too, is I know I'm Canadian, but like I know I have a Canadian accent, but not the way some people have a Canadian accent. But that came up a lot in the comments too, and I'm like, do I really sound like Canadian? But Higo Damask 114D, greetings from Indianapolis. Never been, but I do have family living in Indianapolis. Soft Southern Night, Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. Never been there. Always wanted to go to Texas. I am a foodie, and you guys are going to see that in some of my videos. And we'll talk more about it then, but a lot of good eating down in Texas for sure. David Alexander, greetings from Big Orange Country. Well, hello to you, David. And we got Tracy Bushnell. So, Higo Damask 114D. By the way, get to Edinburgh. The haggis is amazing. So are the oysters. I don't think I've ever eaten an oyster. I've eaten mussels. What's that called? Shecking, or what's that called when they take the oysters out? Tracy Bushnell, the South should read. Damply do. Message retracted. Okay. Middle of the forest. Please spill the tea. What is the next on the agenda for your channel? Well, you know, I have a bunch of videos coming up. I'll have some videos answering some questions, but I have more deep thoughts. I'm really taken aback in a good way at how I connected with everyone. Like, I have friends who have YouTube channels going, dude, like what I'm like, I don't really know. I do know that I had a different thumbnail for that video and no one was watching the video. And then one morning I just changed it to just what you saw, and it really helps. I think for YouTube right now, I think what's in demand is a lot of like the middle age group kind of giving off some life wisdom maybe. But I have a bunch of videos coming up this coming week, and I wanted to do this live stream to kind of acknowledge everyone and say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm still in shock. It's really weird in a good way. And for someone who's not very social, as you guys know, it's kind of like, you know, there are nice people out there. It's kind of a weird thing. I'm going to talk more. I had a lot of people say, like, well, if you don't like people, what are you doing on YouTube? Well, there's a reason for it. And it's no, it's not what you think. But I'm going to get into a video explaining that. But I do have several videos coming out next week. Definitely do. Any tips from my dad? My kid is 2. Unfortunately, I don't have any children, so I can't help you with that. Michelle P, hello from Montana. Bozeman, Helena, where are we talking here? And hello to you, Michelle. Joe Orth, Wisconsin. Looking forward to seeing your channel in the future. Haven't been on YouTube in a while. Been an ex guy lately, but came across one of your videos. Wisconsin, never been. I guess I was fairly close to Wisconsin. I was in Manitoulin Island. That's still a bit more Michigan, but I would love to go to Wisconsin. And if there's some really good restaurants there, I would like you to let me know. You guys email me anytime, thelifeofbryanshow@gmail.com, or follow me on X. It's you know, I feel bad. You know, I have all these comments, and I'm like, this person took the time out of their day to write something, and I can't address all of them. But I try with email and with X. When people contact me, I do my best to get back to them. I'm still kind of adjusting to this. But it's very nice. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Joe. Random Elvis, a boot with the Canadian flag. Do I really say a boot? What is this about? But I guess, yeah, maybe. In the middle of a forest. Hey, Joe Arthur, she says too. Southern night shucking. Yes, with the oysters. That's what that is called. Robman75, hello from Wellington, New Zealand. That's another beautiful country. Wellington, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but Wellington is the capital of New Zealand, is it not? And it's got that nice little lift there up the mountain and that beautiful, beautiful downtown. 179 CPV, Los Angeles, where the weather is warm, but the people are cold. Los Angeles is pretty big and hectic for me. I think being a non-social person, that would be very overwhelming. We had someone on here from Toronto, my good friend 179 CPV. Like Toronto, I think is one of the fastest growing cities in the world. Like sometimes I try and drive around Toronto. You guys want to see someone who has social issues? I try and drive around Toronto because I don't want to drive through it. I think Los Angeles might be a little too overwhelming for me, but I'm not saying that I could never be there. David Alexander, have you ever been to Gatlinburg, Tennessee? I have not, but I can tell you, if I was to go to Tennessee, the Nashville area, some of the eating there would be amazing. Guys, I don't want you guys thinking my whole life revolves around food. Like during the week, I work out and I have a video coming up. A lot of you asked me about that, about my routine. I'm 51, I work out, and I'm going to tell you why. But once a week, we like to go out and have a treat meal. But there's so many, maybe partially due to COVID, that there's so many bad restaurants out there where you pay money for bad food, bad service. Even now getting good service in a restaurant, people are just really weird. It's like they want to avoid you or something. So if I post something about food, I'm just kind of trying to protect the consumer and say, I'm giving you the stamp of approval. I've been in, it's good. And you'll notice if you watch some of the videos, I usually will tend to ask, can you seat me away from people as far as possible? Because that's just, you guys know that's how I am. But I have not been to Gatlinburg, but it's I would love to go to Tennessee sometime. Beer 30, hello from New York, upstate New York, the good part. Thanks for the 51 video, very relatable. Well, thank you. I'm very familiar with upstate New York. I have been to Plattsburgh. I have been to Watertown. I have been to Lake Placid. I used to live near the border there, and I've been to upstate New York many times. Been a lot of places in New York State, actually. Beautiful, beautiful. And of course, Texas Roadhouse, my friend. Higo Damask, 11-4D again. Your video about being alone really resonated with me. Thank you for opening up like that. I was just out in the woods, and there's just kind of like I was filming with a cell phone with a microphone plugged in, and I was testing the lighting at that time of day. And then I realized, oh my God, there's hunters everywhere out here. And I'm wearing black. And I also almost, there's a funny little part in that video. If you go back and watch the video, I'm not tricking you to watch the video to get more views, by the way, where I almost slip walking in the mud. It got really muddy. It's kind of funny. But I appreciate that. And it resonated with a lot of people. And in a way it's wonderful. In a way it's kind of sad. The way the world's changing and society's changing. It's like, I can't, you can't keep up with, it's like the world's changing and you can't keep up anymore. We'll make a video on that soon for sure. Brian B. Okay. Hi, Brian, from Bryan, aka JRock67, Barrie, Ontario. Great channel, brother. I have been to Barrie, Ontario. Beautiful city. I was at an event there a few years back, and it was a beautiful spot. Barrie has some of its own problems too. You know, what really makes me sad with what's going on in Canada, and we won't talk about that too much, but like things have really gone downhill here. We have a lot of people, homeless encampments, a lot of people that are really having problems with drugs. The food banks are crazy here. The cost of living is so crazy here. The cost of food, it's just, but I remember I was in Barrie, Ontario, which is a city north of Toronto, and I crossed the street. This was right downtown to go to a McDonald's. And there's a lot of people just lying on the street there. And it's a very beautiful city. It's like, oh, this is what's going on here. This is really, so anyway, Brian, it was just a memory of Barrie. It was a beautiful town, but that stuck out in my head. Like in the McDonald's, like everyone was so destitute, and it made me really sad. Yeah, but beautiful city though. Very beautiful city. Joe Arth again. Hello to my fellow cheeseheads. Michelle P. Missoula area. Sorry. Okay. Claire, hello from Southwest England. Michelle P. Let's discuss the guitars. So, Michelle, I am a professional guitar instructor. I'm a professional musician. I have been doing this for about 30 years, and it is my profession. That's what I do. Yeah. If you look a little harder, you might see I have a YouTube video, but YouTube channel about that. But anyway, it's a long story, but yes, that's what I do for sure. Okay. Tracy Bushnell, it's very kind and much appreciated that you replied to one and all, Brian. Well, really, this is the thing with YouTube. If you have a YouTube channel and it's successful, my channel is still very small. It's not. But the thing is, and I never want to be one of those people that if by chance lightning struck and there was some success, I don't want to be one of those people that changes and thinks that they're something. You know, it's the people on YouTube that really make you what you are, and that's true. So it's very, very important to me. I have a couple of neat videos coming up. I think you guys are really going to like this week because I like acknowledging you all. But when you get, I forget how many thousands of views that was. It was like 20 some thousand views, comments. I can't reply to all of them. But Rodman75, correct, my friend. Random Ellis introduced the guitars. Fellow Muso here. I will definitely be doing a video on that pretty soon. For sure, I will definitely do that. The guitars, yes. Over the years, I've had to perform a lot of hard rock, metal stuff, but I've also been a proficient country guitar player, and I've studied a lot of jazz too. So a lot of good stuff going on there. David Helfrich, hi from York, Pennsylvania. York, Pennsylvania. I have been to the world famous York Barbell Factory. I have been there. It was a very, very hot summer. I think it was 2018, early July, but I was there. I've been to York, Pennsylvania, and I've been to the York Barbell Factory and did a tour. It was fantastic. In the middle of a forest, yes, we got guitars. KLG, Brian, you have to go to the Amalfi Coast. The food is absolutely phenomenal. I'd like to know more about that. Could you email me a bit more about that? lifeofbrianshow@gmail.com. Rusty Truck, watched your lifting content years ago and just recently rediscovered your channel. Yes, Rusty, and I'm now I'm older. I'm in my 50s, but more worried about just my health and conditioning. And you know, your body does change. I know people say that age is just a number, but with your training, you have to change with it. It's kind of funny. I used to When I was younger, I used to laugh at the older guys that would complain about all the aches and pains and have to warm up. I'd be like, oh, what's wrong with you? Now I'm like, I'm that guy. So it's kind of funny. Luke Westwood, hey, Bryan, I'm only 35, but related so much to your video about people. You know, Luke, a lot of people did. And it's shocking. And as I said, in a way, it's great that we all kind of connected. But in a way, it's sad that we all kind of, you know, I've considered going to therapy. I've considered talking to, you know, the pastor at my church. Like, it's not a nice feeling when you see people and you're like, oh. I don't like it. And so, like, it's how I am, but I'm not saying that I like it. And in my video, when I talk about, I give my clients, so I teach guitar, obviously, and music, advanced composition theory and all that stuff. But when I have paying clients, I give them 100, 150% every time. And I love teaching. But, you know, on a social level, I'm just, well, you saw the video, but I appreciate it so much. 179 CPV again. Watkins Glen State Park in upstate New York is a must. Gorgeous there. And I'm just wondering if I've actually been there, because there's a chance I may have been. David Alexander, if you've spent time in the mountains of Tennessee, you will meet all the kindness of people in Southeast Tennessee. Make sure you sample the moonshine with a great plate of fried chicken livers. I've heard of that. I'll eat liver. It wouldn't be my first thing, but, you know, my father, he's not with us anymore. Video to come on that. But if we went out to eat somewhere at a restaurant, which we didn't do very often, he would order either fish and chips, okay, or he'd get like liver and onions, and you'd be like, dude, we're at a restaurant, like, really? But a lot of people love their liver. I'll eat it. But Beer 30, I've worked in all those places you mentioned in New York. Best during the fall. Live near Saratoga now. Okay, very cool. Lake Placid was very beautiful, for sure. And I noticed, I'm trying to remember where it was. There was a certain point when you're driving in the Adirondacks, when the elevation goes up, and then you get to a certain point where you notice the difference in the air. The air seems cleaner. I remember that too. That kind of sticks with me. So Robbie Reeves, I'm 58 and totally relate to what you say with the flexed arm. Boom. Yeah, it's very important. I like to try to, you know, as I age, everything becomes more difficult. Like, you know, you can't get away with not getting enough sleep. You can't get away with doing certain things with your diet. And but I still feel that if we train hard all week and we eat good all week and we go out for a nice meal on the weekend, that's okay. You know, again, I'm not trained to be a bodybuilder. I don't want to be 3% body fat. That would be pure misery. But again, why I'm going, like, I have some people saying, dude, you posted this really deep video and then you're posting about hamburgers. Like, what? I get it, but it's more of a consumer protection thing, because I can't stand, look, most of us aren't rich. I'm not rich. I'm assuming you guys aren't. Most of you aren't. And even the people I do know that are rich, they still value their money. They're careful with their money now. But nothing's worse than going out to a restaurant and it's just being awful, but you still have to pay, and then you get the machine pushed right in your face and says 30% tip, and you're like, what? And a lot of people don't want to say anything. They're not confrontational. They're not like, well, I'm the type of person, I will say something. I will say, hey, you know, sometime when you go into a restaurant, let them know right off the bat, be polite, but say, hey, I have expectations if you're going to charge me this much money for your food. Watch their change in their and how they treat you. It's very interesting. Okay. Brian B, big time, brother. Yes, that area is bad now on Dunlop Street, McDonald's. Yes. It was right downtown, and I was at like a really fancy theater. It was actually the Canadian National Powerlifting event. I had a friend competing, and we went down. And but I remember I had to cross the street and get something to eat. I was going to even eat a McDonald's burger. I was so hungry. It was a long day, and it was just very destitute. All the people all of a sudden were lying on the sidewalk, and I'm stepping over people, and the whole restaurant was full. I felt bad. I think I, you know, gave some money to some people to get some food or something. But I'm very careful if I give people money. I'm not just going to give them the money. I'll say, hey, I'll buy you a hamburger or a drink or something. But yeah, Bryan, that did shock me. I was surprised, but I did love Barry though. Michelle P, I started learning guitar at 50. I'm horrible, but I love making a glorious racket. Well, the thing is, Michelle, is with the guitar, there's a lot of misconceptions about guitar and learning guitar. when you get the right instructor, right, and you're on the right track and they show you the steps to get going, it's a much easier process. Think of it like this. If I wanted to be an oil driller, right, can I just get a book and say, okay, I'm just going to learn how to drill or drilling wells? I'm going to drill a well in the backyard. I'll just kind of watch a YouTube video. I don't know. Like sometimes, you know, you need to have that person in person with you saying, no, Michelle, you got to place your hand like this, move your thumb like this. You need to work on this right now. Don't worry about that. Let's get this down. You need to have a methodology, some steps to do that. KLG, you're so relatable to us, Brian. Thank you. I appreciate that. Brian, who are some of your favorite guitar players? I would probably say in the rock and metal realm, I would probably say Alex Skolnick from Testament, Michael Romeo from Symphony X. Of course, I like John Petrucci from Dream Theater. The jazz end, I love John McLaughlin is one of my favorites. I love Al Di Meola, of course. Him, Paco de Lucia, the Saturday Night in San Francisco is amazing. I've got a lot of favorite guitar players. This is a big conversation from the country, and I like Brad Paisley. I think he's a wicked guitar player. So, yes, Spongosaurus. I'm trying at 53 to keep supple with yoga classes. Whenever I fall over, I say the lady next to me pushed me. Yes, yoga is very. We know here, yoga is very tricky. Especially when you're older. And that's another thing with working out. Why I try to work out and keep myself in shape because I can put on weight really quickly. I've been pretty heavy a few times as an adult. But you know, when you sit on the ground to pet your dog or something, then you got to get up and you got to do all these weird things where when you're a kid or younger, you just kind of get up. That's another thing too. I like to work out and I work on my flexibility a lot too, especially for my hips. Tracy Bushnell, a lot of nice people walk alone through life. They simply had enough of toxic and the takers. You know, Tracy, there's going to be a video to come on this, but one of my biggest things is the one person you can trust is yourself. Of course, there can be other good people out there, but all the times in my life where I didn't listen to my gut, when I had that nagging feeling in my stomach saying, oh, I don't know about this. If I didn't listen to that, I always paid a hefty price. Video to come on that. Spongosaurus, True Tracy. That's a tongue twister. True Tracy. Easy peasy. Keep posting, Brian. I will. Lots to come this week, guys. A little slow this week because I was completely caught off guard by what happened. And I'm like, your brain's just going like, what is this? What's happening? But much to come. Tracy Bushnell, Spongosaurus, bless you. If you fall anymore, try the pub instead of yoga. Sylvia F. Hi from Italy. Hello, Sylvia. Red vest, checkered shirt. Hey, hi from Wales. 62-year-old here. Love what you got to say on various stuff. Keep on picking. I sure will, my friend. I sure will. Also, if it ever happens, if this channel ever grew to that point where I could fly over to England, I'd probably be doing some videos on the best fish and chips. So, but you know, guys, when I say recommend a good burger place, I mean recommend a good burger place, not a, well, yeah, this place is okay. No. So all my friends from England, they're welcome to email me, thelifeofbrianshow@gmail.com. Just say, hey, if you're ever in the UK and in this area, this is the fish and chip place. Where are the best fish and chips in the world? All right. The middle of a forest tips to, okay, TIPS equals to ensure proper service. Yes. Yeah. And, you know, I always try to be polite and always try to be kind. But I sometimes when I see restaurants or certain businesses, I'm like, do they really step back and look at their product and look at how they're acting and treating people? Like, it's really weird. But you know, I always have a way. I always have a way of trying to be nice, but I can get my point across. Nothing worse than paying $60 or $70 for a meal and feeling like ripped off, and it happens a lot. David Alexander, don't forget about Prince, great musician. Yes, on my music YouTube channel, we did a number of deep dives and interviews with a lot of people involved in Prince's life. It was very interesting, and the Prince community was very kind to me as well. Katie Brown, hello from West Michigan. So West Michigan, where would that be? Grand Rapids, maybe? Machine Gun Clemens, hi. Spongosaurus. Tracy, I'm cracking up laughing. Craven79, hey from Australia. Of course, I'm going to say, where in Australia are we talking about here? Um, the West, Perth. Middle, Alice Springs. The South, Adelaide. What are we talking about here? So I think you guys can hear me okay. I definitely want to add a mic to this for future live streams. Beer 30, do you think technology, i.e. devices we're all on now, have contributed to the way we socially are now? If I see someone I know in the store, I duck down another aisle, hoping they don't see me. I'm the same way. And sometimes it's not even that you don't like the person. You're like, man, I just want to get my stuff and go home. I just don't want to talk about other people. Yeah, I definitely think we got some videos coming on that. I definitely think, do you remember when texting came out? And then all of a sudden it became hard to just talk to people on the phone anymore because they'd rather just text. I definitely think yeah, for sure. Craven 79, we don't do tips in Australia. Employees are paid well, so they don't have to scourge for tips. Sylvia F, same in Italy. Craven 79, Queensland, west of Brisbane. Okay, Brisbane, so we're kind of in the northeast. Tracy Bushnell, my son is a Metallica head. I was a huge Metallica fan, especially in the 80s, some of the stuff in the 90s, but I haven't kept quite as in touch with them, but they're big influences on me, especially the 80s when I was kind of becoming of age. Joe Orth. Oh, sorry. I'm more Pink Floyd and the great Jimmy H. Yes, Pink Floyd. I did not get them when I was a teenager. I was looking at like, what? And all the guys and girls in my high school they were really into smoking things, which I didn't do, but I didn't get all that. But as I got older and my taste expanded musically, I get Pink Floyd. Amazing band. Amazing band. Joe Orth, I can relate with Beer 30. Sometimes I just don't have the energy. Yes, that's part of it too, I think, right? And sometimes it's like, hey, I got stuff I got to do. And then some people, they just want to talk about the same BS. Or what really drives me nuts is when people start talking about other people and other people's business. I'm like, I don't want to hear this. I don't care. I need to go. I need to make my purchase and go. The funny thing is I did a short of me going to the grocery store, and that sums me up pretty good, but more to come for sure. KLG, it's funny, Brian. I appreciate such good food, and my mother's side is Italian, and nobody comes close to making food the way my mom does. I think that's amazing. Did she pass on any of her cooking to you? My mom was not a good cook, but once in a while she can pull out a few surprises. I went to visit her the other day, and we were very surprised at what she made. Fasting like a champ. Hey, yo, how's it going, eh? When I do my fasts, I always work out fasted in the morning. And I definitely incorporate some fasting for sure into my routine. Tracy Bushnell, the Floyd are like fine wine, gets better with age. Absolutely. They're still going. It's too bad to see all the problems with David Gilmour and Roger Waters. Again, I'm not like the social healer here, but it'd be like, guys, I wish you guys could just kind of work this out so you can carry on with doing what you do best. Beer 30, I think a lot changed with COVID. I think so too. People working from home, kids being homeschooled. Yeah. I'll tell you guys, even like I'm in the guitar teaching education business, I've noticed a change with that too. I'll make a video on that more in depth on another day, but I really agree. Yeah. It's yeah. Tracy Bushnell, because the food is made with love. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fasting like a champ. It's Bryan C. from Vancouver. I had a friend, Bryan, from Vancouver. I wonder if it's the same person. Beer 30, my teen son and nephew seem socially awkward. Hard to make eye contact when having conversations. I can see where that could be a little bit concerning. That's really interesting. Yeah, that would be really interesting. Are they into sports? Are they into music? Are they into, I don't mind a little bit of a good video game too, myself, from time to time. For someone like me whose brain can go, especially if you have a creative side, my brain can really go crazy sometimes. I find playing a video game sometimes can calm my brain down. I know it sounds weird, but we're also in a generation now where like kids really get sucked into that, like I don't want to get into the political ridiculousness that's happening up here, but our fearless leader, he's cutting the tax on video game consoles over the Christmas season. Fast. Okay, so Bryan, is that you from? We've talked before on another YouTube channel. Is that you? Sam B. Gossiping, backbiting, talking nonsense is so toxic, but it happens. It happens, and I know for me, I find that really exhausting. You know, sometimes I don't care what other people are doing. I don't care. I don't need to hear about what their daughter's boyfriend's postman's dog did. Like I don't. Yeah. That's why I keep away from most people. They're just evil eye givers. I prefer to be on my own in nature and always being grateful to God for. Interesting, Sam. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I remember you now. I'm originally from Brockville. Yes. Bryan, how are you doing? Now you're spelled with an I. I'm spelled with a Y. See, it's like politics. That's dividing us right away. No, just kidding. Good to hear from you. Sam B, all his blessings. And same to you, Sam. Craven79, your video around retreating from people in general really connected with me. I subbed straight away, and I really appreciate that. Since turning 40 5 years ago, I've become super avoidant of drama and others. I hate drama, and it's hard to escape in life no matter how you try. Videos to come on that. Hatfield Films, sup? First thing I thought was James Hetfield, but Hatfield Films, very interesting. What films do you make? I'd like to check them out. In the middle of a forest, fasting, yes. Annually, I do a 40-day fast starting on December 1st, ending on my now deceased mother's birthday, January 11th, to boost autophagy. Yes. So what I know about autophagy is it starts happening on, what is that, hour 18 or 19 of the fast. Unfortunately for me, that's the part of the fast, and I've tried doing them, where I start to get hangry and I start to freak out a little bit. But what I like to do is after my last meal at night, go to bed, obviously, and I always work out fasted in the morning because I know I'm burning stored glycogen and carbs from the day before. And then sometimes now I'll throw in some low carb days. I kind of like, I like my blood sugar being stable. When it's all over the map, I don't like how I feel. So that's kind of how I use my fasting. But I have done extended fasts, and some days, if I'm not going to the gym, sometimes I won't eat until noon or 1 o'clock. Yeah, good to see you again, Bri. Always, always. Beer 30. I think it's a video game, spot on. They're very social online, and even when together, but around new people, it takes a while to open up. Yes, for sure. Like we had video games when we were young, like the Atari, was it the 2600? And we played them, but often, on the weekends or something, we were outside playing street hockey or baseball or football. Or I think that sports is very important too, like just for that social interaction or being with some friends. I can't believe I'm saying that. Of course, that changes when you're older, but I think maybe when you're developing, when you're younger, that's important. But when people just sit in front of the screen all the time, it's kind of, I don't know. Fasting like a champ. I had to get knee replacement surgery 8 weeks ago. Oh, man. I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope it went well. I've been very fortunate with some of the stuff I've done in my training over the years. Like I've had no problems with ACLs or my meniscus or anything. But when I squat now, I don't go past 315. That is as heavy as I go, not the way I used to be. So for me, it's more my hips. I'm slightly concerned about needing a hip replacement surgery on my right hip, but I'm doing a lot of stuff with my training to keep my hips strong and flexible. The middle of the forest, the second day of fasting is a bear. Day 7, I can kick ass. Okay, that's great. I have not fasted that long. Usually for me by around, I think might have done 24 hours. But yeah, when the autophagy starts to kick in, I think it's hour 18. That's when I start going a little bit, quite frankly, mental. Robbie Reese, I'm a bit of a hermit. Hate idle gossip, playing PS4 Hogwarts at the moment. My little dog passed on the 18th. I'm so sorry. So much better than people. We have a little dog. He's going to be 17 next month. You'll see in a video next week. When I get home from the gym, I take him for a walk, pretty much religiously, unless it's really bad weather out. And on his birthday, we buy him steak. I barbecue it, and he eats it. And I'm worried about that myself, about when you lose a pet, it's not good. And I'm very sorry to hear that. It's very sad. You will make it. I missed 30 minutes, but I'm here. You're here now, and I appreciate you being here. And I want you guys to all know I appreciate all of you. It's just, again, not being a people person, but how can you not be affected when all these people reach out and say, hey, man, you're not the only one, you know, and it's still incredible to me. Beer 30. Not sure how I found the channel, but glad I did subscribe. And I appreciate that you did find the channel, and I appreciate you subscribe. You know, it's really, for me, when I watch a YouTube video and they spend the first couple of minutes saying, hey, you know, like what you see, it's really annoying. And I get it as a viewer. But as a YouTuber, because most of the people that watch your videos don't subscribe, when you do click subscribe, it does help out the video. It does help the channel. And really, you're burning like half a calorie going click. But I get it, believe me, and I hate asking people that. And I've had a number of people, and I'm going to address this in an upcoming video. People say, well, you don't like people so much. What are you doing on YouTube? I'm going to talk about that more, but YouTube is different. It's kind of it's like a little slight window. It's your window to the world, kind of. I find, because, well, you guys know, like, I have to have a Facebook account, which I don't have people on. I can't stand Facebook, but I have to have one to have a business page for my business. I am not particularly an Instagram fan. I'll get into all that in other videos. But I have Twitter. I have X. I like that. So a lot of people, when they contact me through X, usually I reply because it's, you know, I like X. It's cool. KLGG, Bryan, do you know Wendell Ferguson? Great guitar player. Why does that name sound familiar to me? I haven't performed professionally on stage in 10 years by choice. I was in my early 40s when I retired from live performance because I had a very busy music school, and I didn't, again, talking about the age thing, as I got older in my 20s, I could get home at 6 in the morning, sleep 2 hours, and even into my 30s. But then as I got on in my 30s, I started to notice, man, like, I'm not, you know, if I get home, you know, late on a Sunday morning, like, it's like Tuesday or Wednesday before I'm starting to feel like normal again. And then when I hit 40, I said, man, I can't do this anymore. Sponge Source, I have to watch the rest on replay, but I enjoyed this brief time with you all. Keep safe, everyone. We appreciate you. Thank you. Middle of the Forest, I had 6-disc fusions. Oh my gosh, 7 months ago, and my hubby Jack just had 2 discs done on Tuesday. Oh my God, poor Jack. In 2 months, I need hip surgery. Oh my gosh. You know, take care of yourself, eh? Hey, well, there I am. I'm Canadian. There's my accent. Let's give Bryan some thumbs up. Everyone, thanks. Thank you. Bryan, what life advice do you have for youngsters? Yes, in a nutshell, take care of your health, exercise, put 10% of your paycheck away in a savings account where you get a little bit of interest, and you never touch that money. Before you buy something, really think, do I really need this? Or am I going to be turning around and trying to sell it in a few months? Really stop and think before you spend money. I am a thrift meister. We'll get into that in other videos too. And as you get, maybe that's an age thing as well, but, you know, I like movies, but I like the classics, right? So if I go to buy a movie or a Blu-ray, I'll go to like a pawn shop and pay like 25 cents or 50 cents for one, maybe $1 if it's really good. I have a huge DVD collection, one of my pride and joys. But then, like, when I'm in a pawn shop, like, I remember getting the movie The Joker. Do you remember when The Joker came out? A few years back, I was in a pawn shop. I paid $2 for the Blu-ray. It still had the price tag on it, $36.99 from Walmart. So someone paid $36.99 to watch that a couple of times, and then they took it to a pawn shop to get $1 for it. That's not good business, my friends. Okay, just really be careful with your money. I'm going to have videos talking about a lot of stuff, red flags, warning signs. Listen to your gut instinct. If something in your gut is saying, no, this isn't good, I don't like this, listen to it. Anytime I didn't listen to it, I paid a big price in life. Tracy Bushnell, thumbs up to you. All right. You will make it. Thank you. Tracy Bushnell, I'm the same, only YouTube and eBay for recipes. Joe Orth, 44. Tracy Bushnell, hate exercise. So, Tracy, I am a foodie, and the periods, you know, where I don't exercise and I just eat and let my diet go. Um, I had something happen. I got quite heavy. 2022, I had a lot of problems with what was going on when it finally got up to me. Won't get into conspiracy theories, but I'm not oblivious to them because I had some things happen after I got, uh, what we all had to take, and I got sick. Um, but I lost about 80 pounds working out hard. I put on a lot of weight, and so about 80 pounds in a year working out hard and dieting. And but I feel so much better. It gives so much more back to you. I know the first couple of weeks suck going to the gym and eating better, but man, once it kicks in, man, it's like winning the lottery. In the middle of the forest, hooray! You will make it. 2017, while lifting, I damaged my cervical neck. My chiro says it happens to the best of us. I miss being at the gym, and I still miss lifting. However, I'm able to run and hike still. That is awesome, my friend. Tracy Bushnell, I swim, I shop. That's enough. I get breathless from the prices. Damply Dude, what's your favorite cut of steak? Okay, that's a tough question. We like flank steak here, and you're going to see something really soon, my friend, because the barbecue is one of my loves in life. Okay, flank steak, sirloin. We like a bunch of different cuts of steak. There's going to be videos to come on that, and there's going to be a video coming next week with a twist. I think you're going to like it. You will make it, Tracy. Nice, definitely do. I like New York strip. Yes, that's good too. D. Davidius. I am new here from Toronto, Canada area. Been to Toronto many, many times. Myself, I am Canadian. I've been to Toronto countless times. Lived in Ontario for a long time. So, Robbie Rees. Sleep is my go-to drug. Feel like a crazy zombie if I'm sleep deprived. Me too. Love a bargain too. Favorite actor, Keanu Reeves. Who is yours? Oh my gosh. Favorite actor? I don't know. That's because you can like an actor, but then when they're in a few bad movies, you're like, nah. But I have quite a few. I let me think on that one. That's a good one. The Boglin. Hey dude, just got here. I'm happy to have you here. Fasting like a champ. Good, Brian. You look leaner. Awesome. I am. Well, I lost 80 pounds. I probably put about 25 pounds back on, but I'm pretty at a happy balance right now. In the middle of the forest, I was 363 pounds and lost 162 pounds. First keto, now carnivore. Yes, we lean much to the carnivore as well. Tracy, I'm listening, Brian, and good in the middle of the forest. Good for you. Congratulations. You must feel so much better. Tracy Bushnell, I'm listening, Brian. I had a split gallbladder. I've changed my diet. I'm not a big meat eater. Love my fruits. Maybe so I feel a ton better after cutting out bread. Fasting like a champ, working out was awesome. KLGG. Brian, I believe Wendell Ferguson is in his late 60s, and I'll email you some of his work and some information on the Amalfi Coast in Italy. Absolutely phenomenal. I've heard of Wendell Ferguson. I should know who he is. You will make it. Try carnivore. I got really backed up. How do you avoid that? I don't know if you can do this on carnivore, but can you eat a small sweet potato for the fiber? Better Days Talk TV. Hello, Brian, in the live chat. Hello, how are you? What is your Talk TV about? Hello, Forrest. Maybe so. Me too. Heather. Hi there, Brian. Or Byron. That happens all the time. Hello, Heather. How are you doing? Damply Do. David Gilmour, best guitarist, Pink Floyd. He's an amazing guitar player. He has a certain style, his own style. So it's one of those things, right? It's like comparing different cuts of steak or something. It's like it's a certain flavor, but he's amazing at what he does. The Boglin, LOL. Well, guys, I'm going to start to slowly wind this down, but fasting like a champ, I'm most carnivore. I also eat 1 meal per day. Some people like that. The 1 meal a day thing doesn't work for me, but I like to eat pretty good. There's going to be more in-depth videos on that, but I eat pretty good during the week, and then during the weekends, it's hard to maintain that intensity of the diet and the exercise for 10 months. Like for me, like when I lost all that weight after about 10 months, I started going a little squirrely, relaxed on the diet a bit, but then of course, 20 pounds, boom, there you go. It's another thing with getting older, folks. But yeah. Eat more fatty cuts of meat. Do not fear fat. No, I do not fear fat at all. I usually feel better eating a smaller amount of carbs. And I usually keep my carbs to right after my workout. And I love avocados too and salmon. The Boglin, dude, you got this. Can't believe you're on a live stream. I can't really believe it either, but next time I definitely want to get a microphone properly plugged in and not the microphone on my webcam. So need some help with that. I got to figure that out. Soft Southern Night. Steve Stevens with Billy Idol is pretty good too. He is pretty good. They did a kind of a cool video of them playing on, was it the Empire State Building a while ago? Myron Ullman! Myron! How are you doing, buddy? Hey there, brother. Just here listening to your words of wisdom. Myron's a friend. And this is where we're at here, Myron. Things are going quite well, as you can see. Cindy Ray Thane. Mad respect for you. I avoid people and wouldn't even attempt a live. You know, my thing, Cindy, is the past week, so many people have given so much to me, I want to give back. And I'm going to be doing a number of small niceties to people randomly that have commented, because it's hard. Was there 25 or 30,000 comments? It's hard to acknowledge everybody, but I do read them, and I'm very, very grateful. But this is a thing too, when people say to me, well, why YouTube? Like, if you don't like people, like, you shouldn't post anything. Okay, but this, to me, I can still, it's not like there's a wall between us, but I'm comfortable, right? Some of the other social media, it's just, I'll do a video on it. Robbie Reeves, love Depeche Mode. So do I. Absolutely. They've got some great stuff. The Violator album is quite good. Fasting Like a Champ. I do have coffee with heavy cream. Absolutely. The Boglin, just punch away. Tracy Bushnell, been watching a lady online my age who accelerated her weight loss. She fasts from 7 p.m. until noon the next day. That's a typical day for me almost, especially on weekends if I'm not working out. I try to get my workouts in during the week, and then we're kind of free on the weekends, so we're not quite tied down to that. 179 CPV, have to go. Love your channel, Brian. Take care. I appreciate it. And maybe sometime, if I'm going through Mississauga, you'll join us for a burger or something. In the middle of a forest, Tracy, do you have a YT channel too? You know, when I was going through the comments, so one of the little things I was doing is just randomly subscribing to certain people's channels. But a lot of people, they don't have any content, or they haven't posted content in like 10 years or something. So if I'm going to subscribe, I like it when they have kind of current content. But definitely do. Why are some guitars triangles versus the classic style? Always wondered this as a kid in the nice. So this is, okay, actually, so here, what am I doing? Oh, I'm so confused because this is like a mirror. So if you're talking about my Jackson Randy Rhodes there, actually it's not a Randy Rhodes, that's called a Demolition. It's just a different style, how to hold it. I like the Flying V style. I like the Strat style. I never was big on like a lot of the Gibson stuff, like the Explorers and the Les Pauls. I just was never comfortable playing them. So it's kind of a bit of a taste and feel. Sam B, I'm alone and happy. I don't need to be around people to be happy. I'm still working on myself and practicing self-love. It feels great. Myron Ullman, keep those training videos coming. I will do that for sure, Myron. The Boglin, this guy's a real man, no narcissist. No, I've encountered the cluster B personality disorders more so in my 40s, and I've encountered some people clearly who have NPD, and we'll talk about that in coming videos. And ironically, my mother's retired. She worked as a social worker. My sister works in mental health care, so they're kind of experts in that field. But there's clear warning signs when you're dealing with that stuff, and I'll talk about that in future videos for sure. Tracy Bush in the middle of the forest, no hun. Middle of the forest, Facebook puke. Yeah, Facebook's the worst. You know, the first thing, you know, it's people are fighting. A lot of it's negative, and plus it's information mining. They want to get information on you, and then all of a sudden you're getting killed with ads on all these things trying to sell you something. But the benefit is you get to be in touch with family or friends that you haven't seen in years. But yeah, but a lot of it, you know, when people get into the arguing and the debating and the fighting and people just posting all their problems all the time, you're just like, oh man, this is depressing. And then a lot of people who are interested in your business, who might not be the best people to have in your life, they're kind of like keeping track of you through Facebook, and they know every little thing. And they're going to talk about it to other people. So it's like, Essendon Hennessy, greetings from Melbourne, Australia. Right. Bondi Beach. Melbourne, beautiful city. Love to go there. They filmed the first movie, The Punisher, there with Dolph Lundgren, Lou Gossett Jr. Tracy. Fasting like a champ. Take care, B. It was nice to see you. It was good to see you, Brian. Email me anytime, thelifeofbrianshow@gmail.com. Tracy, I'm my maiden name on FakeBig. Thanks, Brian, for the live chat today. Thank you. I appreciate you guys joining. And it was short notice, but I wanted to do something to say hello and thank you all. Okay. Pam Cornelius. Hello from Sonoya, Georgia. Filming location for The Walking Dead. Yes. I like The Walking Dead, and I watched some seasons of it, and then it kind of, was it Negan or Keegan? That was kind of cool for a while, and then they kind of lost me. I don't know what happened there. I'd have to sit down and think of it, but it was a great show. Carvin Govinder, greetings from South Africa. Okay, so what we got? Cape Town, Pretoria, Durban. Where are we talking here? Johannesburg. Tanya talks too much. Hi, Brian. Congratulations on your viral YouTube video. I want to ask you guys about that. What makes a video viral? Like, is it like 1 million views? Is it 500,000 views? Like, or is it semi-viral? Semi-viral, and then there's viral. I don't know. But thank you, Tanya. I appreciate it. No, of course, I avoid Facebook at all costs. Just my thoughts. As do I. I have to have it for my business, but if I had my way, I wouldn't have it. Tracy Bushnell, remember this, everyone. Everything you enjoyed today, you put there. Absolutely. Essendon Hennessy. I don't hate people. I simply do not need them to feel content. That's a good way to look at it. Catherine Haynes, greetings from Saskatchewan, Canada. Saskatchewan. Moose Jaw, Saskatoon, Regina. Do you have season's tickets to the Saskatchewan Roughriders? Do you remember when they had the same name as the Ottawa Roughriders in the CFL? So part of my teenage years, I grew up in Ottawa. So that was always weird. So there was the Roughriders in Saskatchewan. It was one word. But the Ottawa Roughriders was 2 words, I think. Was it? Rough Rider? I don't know. It was kind of weird. But love Saskatchewan. Would love to go there, but not in the wintertime. That's for sure. Robert Rees, I highly recommend listening to Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, Brian. I will definitely do it. Send me a link. The Life of Brian Show on gmail.com. J9 Cornwall, Got UK. Excellent. Durban, yes. So if you're in Durban, South Africa, do you ever go out and swim in the ocean? A lot of great white sharks there. The Boglin, talking about narcissists makes videos viral. So I want to tell you guys, I think one of the important things is many years ago, I had a YouTube channel. And I guess it did okay, but not really. And I was at an event, and I met someone who was kind of famous in that niche, and he was a fairly famous YouTuber. And he pulled me aside one day. He said, you know, the biggest secret to YouTube is to just be you. But at that time, I was scratching my head going, well, what the hell does that mean? what are we talking about? But I think I've really recently realized what this means for me. So, but yes, that is popular now, talking about people, personality disorders, people trying to recover from that type of abuse and all that stuff. Catherine Haynes, Regina. There you go. So you have been to a Saskatchewan Roughriders game, haven't you, Catherine? Nick Mayakovsky, hi from Eastern Canada, Nova Scotia, where it's already dark. Yes, I remember. I've been to Nova Scotia, Peggy's Cove, Halifax, Truro. Good lobster there. I'd like to go back. I'd also like to go to Newfoundland sometime. J9 Cornell, go viral. You related to an audience. Apparently I did. I'm still blown away by it. It's still like, oh my God, what happened here? But in a good way, but it's overwhelming, but it's in a good way, but it's still overwhelming. Catherine is not a Ryder fan. Katie Brown, thanks for making your video. Knowing there are others that are experiencing the world the way you are makes us feel less alone. Very nice. Tanya talks too much. I'm in Ontario. I've lived most of my life in Ontario. Nimzo 2005, Italy here. Excellent. Would love to go. Would love to go. What part of Italy? The Boglin, you're real. That's rare. Katie Brown, if you meet Richard Grannon, I'm so jealous. He's brilliant. Okay, I am aware of who he is. In the middle of a forest. Thanks for this quick impromptu live, Bryan. It's great to get to know you by this brief glimpse. Definitely subscribe and ring the bell for all the notifications. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you doing that. Carmen Govinder, absolutely not the Sharks. Do enjoy taking walks on the beach, though. WrestlerMania, hello at the Life of Bryan show. Coming by for a quick hello. Hope all are doing well. We seem to be doing pretty good, actually. For people that don't really like hanging around people, we're doing pretty good. But I am going to start winding it down, guys. We've hit the hour mark, but I want to come on, say hello, and thank you all. And I'll take a few more, and we'll leave it at that for today. But we got a lot of stuff coming up this week. It just took a few days, kind of reeling from it's like, what is going on here? This is the craziest thing. Tracy Bushnell, I'm off to bed to watch rare Elvis photos. Joe reads me off to sleep with Elvis stories. Hope you like Elvis, Bryan. I'm going to Memphis, Mama. I'm going to Memphis. I do like Elvis very much. Sleep well. Nimzo 2005. East of Italy, 1 hour by train from Venice. I wait for you. Sylvia set apart, just always keep it real. I appreciate that, guys. And I'm at that. The Boglin. I can't send a paid chat. I don't know what that is. WrestlerMania, we got some videos coming out. We want to talk about that last video that's done well. I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like what's coming up this week. We got a lot to talk about. I've been asked a lot of questions over the comments, and a lot of people want to hear different things and me talk about different things and know different things about me. So we have a lot to talk about. Thank you, Carmen, for joining. I really appreciate it. And again, the Boglin, I don't know what a paid chat is. So my channel isn't even monetized. So that's what's going on right now. I will monetize it, I'm sure, but I don't know all these different functions of making money and stuff. So, paid chats means super chat, where we send you money by the. I don't even really know what that is. I'll have to look into that. That would be, yeah, girlfriend of none. Yes, I remember reading your comment as well. Nick, I'm actually wrapping it down. We've hit the hour mark, and my body's going into autophagy. So that's the joke, right, with the fasting. So I know you guys get it. I do have humor too. We're going to see some of my humor in the videos, but some people don't get it. That's another social thing. Sometimes I'll make funny jokes and people just look at me and go, what? Super chat. I'll look into that, the Boglin. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you were willing to do that. I don't really know what that is, but I appreciate it. Tracy Bush, I think where they buy you a coffee type money reward. Oh, I'll look into it. I don't know much about it, but you guys are the best, and I want to thank you all. Nanya Business, you commented too. I remember all these. Handles you guys have on YouTube. Hey, you have to turn the option on in your YouTube options in the monetization tab. I'll have to look into all that. This is the first I've really kind of heard about that, I think, but I will look into it. But I appreciate all the support, guys. You guys are the best. And I'm going to bid you all a good evening, and lots to come this week. Take care.